Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Friday, the 20th of February. Nitish Kumar to take oath as Bihar Chief Minister after Jitan Ram Manjhi quits. Emotional yet confident about being selected for Mars trip, says Indian teenager. And Bollywood gets into vengeance with Badlapur. And now for all the details. The United Nations has called for long-term stability in Bangladesh to ensure development and asked the government to engage the opposition constructively. US Secretary of State John Kerry also urged the Bangladesh Nationalist Party to shun its political violence immediately.
UN General Secretary Ban Ki-moon on Thursday met Foreign Minister Abul Hassan Mahmood Ali and discussed the prevailing political situation in Bangladesh. Expressing concern over the opposition-led political violence, Moon urged the government to take concrete steps to de-escalate the situation. Earlier this week, he had written to Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and BNP Supremo Khaleda Zia, calling them to work towards ending the crisis. US Secretary of State John Kerry had reiterated that the targeting of innocent civilians was unacceptable and urged the BNP to cease such attacks. The BNP and its allies are enforcing a violent nationwide transport blockade and a series of shutdowns to mark their protest against the first anniversary of last year's parliamentary elections, which it had boycotted. Nearly 100 people have been killed in the country ever since the blockade began last month. The BNP is demanding fresh elections in Bangladesh under a non-partisan caretaker government, a system which was abolished in 2011 by the parliament after it was annulled by the country's Supreme Court.
Shia Muslims in Pakistan's southern Sindh have ended their sit-in demonstration against the rising attacks on the minority community members in the country. This comes after the provincial government agreed to transfer a recent case to the newly set up military courts.
Family members of victims of the Shikarpur Shia mosque attack ended their two-day protest after a meeting with Sindh Chief Minister Qayyum Ali Shah on Thursday. The government has reportedly agreed to most of the 22-point demands raised by the protesters, including providing of armed security to mosques and transferring the case to military courts. It also agreed to carry out an operation in the province against banned extremist outfits.
कमेटी तश्कील दी गई है बाज़ाब्ता तौर पे जिसमें वारिसाने शुहदा की नुमाइंदगी भी है और हुकूमत की नुमाइंदगी भी है। वो हफ्तावार इस पेशरफ्त का जायजा लेगी कि इन मुतालबात पे अमल दरामद में कितनी पेशरफ्त हुई है और अगर कोई रुकावट होगी तो उसे दूर करेगी।
The terror strike in Shikarpur took place after Friday prayers on January 30, killing 60 Shia worshippers. A mosque in Rawalpindi was also struck by a suicide bomb on Tuesday, leaving 3 people dead. Taliban militants had attacked a Shia mosque in Peshawar, killing at least 20 and injuring over 60 others last week. The minority community, which makes up nearly 20% of Sunni-majority Pakistan, continues to come under frequent attacks. Despite the surging violence, the Shias blame both the federal and provincial governments for failing to ensure enough security to the community and their places of worship.
Nitish Kumar will take oath as the new state chief of India's eastern Bihar on Sunday. This comes after Chief Minister Jitan Ram Manjhi announced resignation on Friday, hours before a crucial trust vote following a lingering showdown with party leadership.
Fearing an apparent defeat, State Chief Jitan Ram Manjhi put down his papers on Friday, hours before the trust vote. Manjhi submitted his resignation to Governor Keshrinath Tripathi in provincial capital Patna. He further sought fresh elections in Bihar and recommended the dissolution of the state assembly. Manjhi said he resigned fearing violence in the house.
उसको भी इस बात का एहसास है कि विधानसभा में अनेक प्रकार की गड़बड़ियां हो सकती है, मारपीट हो सकता है। इसके चलते वो लोग भी आशंकित रहे और इन सब बातों के बाद हम लोग दिमाग में यही लगा एक ही उपाय है कि हम अपना इस्तीफा दे दें।
Manjhi was asked to prove his majority on the legislative floor after ruling Janata Dal United or JDU ousted him as its leader and elected former Chief Minister Nitish Kumar as its new legislature party leader last week. Though he had 12 JDU lawmakers and the support of the BJP and 3 independents, many believed he was poorly placed to win the confidence vote. Former Chief Minister Kumar said BJP's game plan has been exposed.
बीजेपी का गेम प्लान तो एक्सपोज्ड हो गया ना। हम लोग तो बार बार कह रहे थे इस चीज का फैसला बजट सत्र के पहले कर लेना चाहिए।
BJP was quick to blame Kumar for the lingering political crisis in the state.
इनका दलित विरोधी चेहरा उजागर हो गया। पूरा आज जो बिहार के अंदर राजनीतिक संकट पैदा हुआ है, इस राजनीतिक संकट के लिए अगर कोई एक आदमी जिम्मेवार है तो वह है नीतीश कुमार जी।
Manjhi had in May last year taken charge after former Chief Minister Nitish Kumar resigned from the post, taking moral responsibility for JDU's poor performance in the parliamentary polls.
The Sri Lankan government on Friday confirmed that Foreign Minister Mangala Samaravira will attend the United Nations Human Rights Council session next month. The development comes days after the UNHRC was granted 6 months extension to file a probe report on alleged rights violation by Lankan army against the Tamil minority. UN rights body chief Zaid Arad Al-Hussein had sought time until September for what he claimed was a stronger and more comprehensive report. Sri Lanka has been facing a UN-monitored international probe into human rights violations committed by its army during the end of the nearly 3 decades-long civil war with the liberation tigers of Tamil Eelam. According to UN and various international rights groups, up to 40,000 Tamil civilians were killed in the last 3 months of the conflict in 2009. While most people spend their whole lives understanding the intricacies of this world, for some, a lifetime on Earth is just not enough to do that. Take a look at who plans to go beyond the skies, quite literally.
Human beings spend most of their lives looking for places to settle for a secure future. This girl from India's southern Kerala has different plans. Shraddha Prasad's dream of leading an extraterrestrial life might just come true. The 19-year-old has made it to the list of 100 candidates and is the only one based in India to be shortlisted for the Mars 1 mission. And if she gets through the 4th round of the astronaut selection process, Prasad will be one of the 24 chosen humans to get a one-way ticket to the Red Planet. Amid great excitement and determination, Shraddha said she is ecstatic about the mission.
I came to know about this mission first in July 2013, and back then when I wanted to apply for the mission, there was a lot of pressure from all the sides, asking me not to apply because this seemed a very dangerous mission. I went ahead with it anyway because I wanted to, and once I did, I've crossed all the rounds. Now there were 3 rounds till now, and I've passed all of them, and I feel really happy that I've made it this far.
The Mars 1 mission is an initiative being undertaken by a Netherlands-based non-profit organization which hopes to send 6 teams of 4 people each onto the Red Planet in 2024. As many as 100 candidates from all across the world have been whittled down from more than 200,000 aspirants. Taranjit Singh Bhatia, studying in Florida, and Dubai-based Ritika Singh are the other 2 Indians who figure in the list. Prasad, an engineering student at a Coimbatore college, said she is emotional yet confident of inching towards her dream.
My parents, when I told them that I wanted to apply, they actually thought I was joking, that I was completely crazy. Because as everybody, had apprehensions, they were also apprehensive about the mission. This is something one of a kind. I mean, it's not that you see in newspapers daily. They didn't want me to apply because they thought it was a scam, but I still went ahead with it, and they at least thought I wouldn't make it, proceed to the upcoming rounds, but that was also overcome. So as much as they're scared for me, they're also happy that I made it this far because I'm probably one of the youngest candidates, so they're pretty proud of me.
The project aims to set up a human colony on Mars to understand the origins of the solar system, the beginning of life, and our position in the universe. A total of 40 candidates will eventually be chosen to take part in a training program and will live in a copy of the Mars outpost on Earth. The first unmanned flight is scheduled for a liftoff in 2018.
It was a treat for all Beetle fans. It also gave car fanatics a fill of the classic cars. Take a look at how these mean machines gave a joyride to the car lovers.
A glitzy lineup of vintage cars and shiny wheels gave car fanatics enough dose of adrenaline rush as Pakistan organised its 3rd annual Volkswagen car show in commercial hub Karachi. Over 100 cars ranging from deluxe models to jeeps and convertibles were put on display. And adding to the fervour was the oldest 1938 Beetle, also known as the People's Car, which remained a major attraction. Enthusiasts of all ages flocked the rally in large numbers to get a glimpse of the royal antiques.
मैगजीन्स में मैं देखता था ऐसी वैगन को बाहर के मुल्क में, जर्मनी में और मुल्कों में इसमें मुख्तलिफ शेप दिए हैं उन लोगों ने। उसी ख्याल से मैंने अपने तर्ज पर ये गाड़ी बनाई है अंदर से। इसके अंदर तमाम फैसिलिटीज़ हैं, टेलीविज़न है, माइक्रोवेव है, फ्रिज है।
सारी बहुत अच्छी हैं, बहुत अच्छी सारी बनाई हुई हैं लोगों ने, बहुत अच्छी मेंटेन रखी हुई हैं। सारे मॉडल्स अच्छे हैं।
The event provided a platform to vintage car lovers to showcase their unique possessions. Many car clubs in the country also organize regular rallies across Pakistan, bringing back the legacy and pride of the bygone era.
A rousing neo-noir thriller with some hard-boiled characters. Bollywood is set to take its viewers on a revenge ride this weekend. Let's take a look.
आप फिल्में देखते हैं?
कभी-कभी।
अकेली लड़की सुनसान रास्ते पे आधी रात को जब लिफ्ट लेती है तो या तो ड्राइवर
Edgy characters, a gripping script, and hammer-hitting action. Bollywood is bound to get dark and grey with Badlapur, the unflinching, intuitive thriller which promises to throw enough surprises for its viewers has generated a buzz already. The latest from the kitty of director Sriram Raghavan had a starry promotional in capital New Delhi. The cast of the film, including Varun Dhawan, Yami Gautam and Nawazuddin Siddiqui also joined in.
I was blown away by this script, and I think this is something which not just me, but I'm sure none of you have seen before. I was also, in fact, really impressed with the fact that Varun is going to be playing Raghu, and of course to share the screen space with actors like Nawaz, with the whole ensemble cast. I think absolutely, Huma, everybody's done a fantastic job.
Explaining the film's tagline, Raghavan, better known for his helming thrillers, urged the audience not to miss the beginning of the film.
The reason for don't miss the beginning is because there is something that very, very important that happens in the beginning of the movie, in the first 10 minutes. And if you miss that, then the story you watch will be different from the story which if you had seen the beginning, So I just don't want people to miss the experience. So we are trying to persuade the doors to be shut after once the movie starts. Let's see whether that happens.
Dhawan, who has so far played romantic characters, breaks the image of a chocolate boy with Badlapur. The 27-year-old said his role was so far the most challenging one in his career.
I thought they were crazy when they narrated me the script, and why would they want me in this film, honestly, because I'm much younger for the part. But at the same time, I thought it has to be the biggest challenge of my life to play something like that. To play the role of Raghu has to be the biggest challenge of my life till now.
Badlapur revolves around the revenge story of Raghu, a man with a past who witnessed his wife and son being shot during a robbery. 15 years later, Raghu finds out who pulled the trigger to kill his family, and thus the vengeance journey begins. The film also stars Huma Qureshi, Divya Datta, Vinay Pathak and Radhika Apte.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. Nitish Kumar to take oath as Bihar Chief Minister after Jitan Ram Manjhi quits. Emotional yet confident about being selected for Mars trip, says Indian teenager. And Bollywood gets into vengeance with Badlapur. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time next week. Have a great weekend and good night.